What up, though? Not as extravagant as I normally do it, but you already know what's up, man. It's A&T, aka Ant Man, back since it's been a long time since I ain't put up an episode since last year, right? But nonetheless, man, welcome back to the Intelligent Talk Show, where we talk about stuff that piques my interest with a little bit of intelligence. Um, Last time you saw me on live was when we won against the Rams. I stopped at halftime because I did not want to, it was equivalent to the Packers beating the hell out the Cowboys 27-7 at halftime. And I was like Stephen A. Smith, like, I don't want to go too far and be like, we about to win. You know what I'm saying? But I watched the rest of the game, trust me, and I was hella delighted. You know what I'm saying? So you already know we about to go ahead and get into this subject. This has already been the subject, but the fact that damn man, damn, I still can't get over it. A little bit, not over, but like then we made it to the next step. We made it to the next step. The Lions are in the divisional round in the playoffs, and it's exciting to see. It's real exciting to see, man. I felt the environment when I was watching the game at home. I saw so many people, man, the celebrities you saw there, you of course you're gonna see Megatron and Barry Sanders. But Walter, like my man, what's his real name? Michael White, the dude who plays Walter White on Breaking Bad, who I say, or Brian Cranston, I think that's his name, Brian Cranston. But he showed up supporting the Rams. Wrong time, bro. Take your ass to seventh heaven with that shit. But Big Sean, Eminem, I saw Bizarre, Paul Rosenberg, shout out to Biz. Um, but man, that's just an amazing feeling. And amazing. There was a whole bunch more people than that. I was like, I forgot the dude's name. My mom sent me the video of like who, like we got people like G Mac Cash and like other bloggers and artists that do rap reviews on games. You know what I'm saying? So he listed all the people that showed up at that Lions game. And guess what? Them same people probably gonna show back up this Sunday because we got a home game again against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the Bucks is sounding real hopeful right now. I was going back and forth with this dude on Twitter, and he was hyping up his Tampa Bay Bucks, which you should. You know what I'm saying? Them dudes was 9-8. You ain't expect them to get that far into the freaking playoffs. And I said it. I said it earlier in my few episodes. I said that was the only team in the NFC South that looked like they was doing something. The Saints, they gave us a little fight, but we beat the shit out of them, so they had to keep alternating their quarterbacks. The Panthers and the Falcons, the Panthers are hopeless. And you see what Atlanta's doing. They're trying to get Bill Belichick in as their coach. So they trying to get the switch up. But the Buccaneers were seeming like the only team that was doing something. And we stifled them in the early in the regular season. But I'm talking to this dude on Twitter. He's like, man, that's regular season. Y'all know what Todd Bowles, the coach. Todd Bowles, you don't know what he's going to execute in the playoffs. Whatever, man. All we got to do, as far as offensive line, all we got to do is protect our quarterback. You saw how good Jared Goff can get when there ain't no pressure on him. When the O-line is protecting him and he can be able to look around and see who he can throw the ball to, whether it's Amon Ra, screen to Jahmyr Gibbs, throw to Josh Reynolds, Sam Laporta, anybody. If you can give him the protection that he needs, he's going to fucking throw that bitch. And more than likely, he's going to complete the pass. We got hands. You know what I'm saying? Ain't been too many games that we don't catch the ball. So as long as he stays protected, we straight. As long as the defensive secondary can take care of Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, then ain't no way these dudes beating us at home, man. That's the main thing I'm believing. Like, yeah, Stafford gave us a run for our money. Let's not forget that Stafford, we don't forget it, but you know what I'm saying? But he was the op. But we already know what he's capable of, man. That sidearm throw that he does, he's a beast with it. Patrick Mahomes ran with it. Now he won a Super Bowl. But Patrick Mahomes, but Matthew Stafford ain't no hoe. We know this. How he was able to get through the season and make it to the playoffs, congrats to him and Sean McVay. I'm sure that, that's going to boost up Sean McVay to keep on going. I heard they say he was going to retire and start being an analyst after the season. But how they got back into the fray of things and made it to the wild card, that's a big up for Matthew Stafford and Sean McVay. So big ups to them. But and also everybody was talking about this because I was watching it. I knew that he was going to be a problem. I said Cooper Kupp, Tyler Higbee, and Puka Nacua was going to be our biggest issues. Cooper Kupp ain't get that much. He didn't get that much catches. So that was a good note. Tyler Higbee, we bit his kneecap off. Ooh, and you saw Matthew Stafford. I don't know if it was after that play. Matthew was like, hey, man, that was a good hit, but you dirty as fuck, though. You know that. But, Matthew, you know this. You played with Ndamukong Suh, and he was worse than that. So, come on, Matthew. You knew what it was going to be. And big up, and once again, big ups to Matthew Stafford, showing that toughness that he already had when he was in Detroit. We was tearing his ass up. Tearing him up. One of my man's, his Matthew's hand, a knuckle, hit one of our man's helmets. Fucked up his shit. Had him bleeding. We crushed him so hard one time, hit his head on the mat, fucked up his ribs. He was limping off the field. He was like, uh-oh, let's get Carson Wentz out there. We about to wrap this shit up. But no, man, Matthew Stafford, he's one tough son of a bitch. And we know that because he's played for us. Man, the one thing I was afraid of from him was I was like, dude, don't let him have the ball within 4 minutes of the game. He gets that ball within 4 to 2 minutes of the game. We know he's good with fourth quarter comebacks. Thank goodness that the defense did what they did to keep the referees looking at him from getting a call. There was holding. Refs let them play. That's what they did. The refs let us play. And we kept Puka Nacua from getting the ball. Sean McVay decided to go ahead and punt us the ball. We make our couple first downs. And we stuck it to him, man. We stuck it to him. We got the win, 23-24. And we are here on Sunday ready to fuck the Bucs up. Because once again, like I said, man, that's the NFC South. And I said it before, the Bucs was the only good team at the NFC South. Y'all just the best of the worst. Y'all just the best of the worst. And we're going to show y'all why y'all the best of the worst on Sunday. All this talk about what Todd Bowles is going to do, he should have did that in the regular season because we was running through, like, we was going on a 3-1 run. And then we beat them and was 4-1. So you should have been trying to stop our momentum then. Come on now. Now you want to try, now dudes want to talk about what Todd Bowles is going to do. No, you should have did that earlier. We studying you now. We studying you. We on your heads. Baker Mayfield, this may be one of his better years, but it ain't as good as it ain't as good as Jared Goff. Nah, fam. And you only got a couple of good weapons. We got multiple. We got multiple weapons on offense that can do anything they want to do out there. Sam Laporta, just him having the tenacity to stay in the fold. He had his knee, but he jacked up his knee in Minnesota in week 18, was questionable throughout the whole week before the game. They was talking about he was practicing with a knee brace. We see him come out there, and on 4th and 1, while we was 14-10, at 4th and 1 on the field goal and on the red zone, he executed. So the options we got from Sam Laporta to Josh Reynolds, Jameer, David Montgomery, Amon-Ra St. Brown, J-Mo Williams, we got too many options. All the fucking Bucs got is, like I said, Chris Godwin and Mike Evans. I don't know about their running game, but they ain't gonna stop our run. They can't stop we can stop the run. Kyron Williams, he had a little bit of yards when he was playing against us, but for the most part, we were stopping the run throughout half the game. So I believe in my Lions, dog. I believe in them. I told you all I wanted was one playoff win. Not even the Lombardi, just a playoff win. I told y'all that. All we needed was a playoff win, and we'll be talking shit all year. And look at us. We made it to the point where we got a playoff win, and people is looking at us like, look, the thing about it like this. Mainstream media, once again, I always talk about how mainstream media don't like to talk about us in the light, in the good light. They ain't got no choice to now. And still they want to try to, like Dan Orlovsky. One of the worst quarterbacks in our franchise while we was at our worst. I think he was the quarterback when we were 0-16. And ESPN and the rest of the sports world run his ass to the ground with his analytics sometimes, because he was the quarterback that ran out of bounds and got the other team too far for our mistakes, as Chisel the Adonis would say. So Dan Orlovsky doubting the Lions, man, that's pitiful. He, along with Mina Kimes and Swagoo and whoever the other chick is from NFL Live or NFL on ESPN, they all picked the Rams to beat us at home, because Matthew Stafford, he's going to break their hearts, and Detroit ain't ready. They really doubted us. Now they ain't got no choice but to fear us. The analysts and the players and the teams, they ain't got no choice but to fear us, because this ain't the same old Lions, man. I told y'all this on my first episode. This ain't the same old Lions that fuck up a game from penalty after penalty due to some offsetting bullshit. This is a Lions team. This is a Lions coach, a Lions GM, hell, a Lions owner that's tired of being a laughingstock of the NFL. We're tired of it. Everybody's tired of it. This win proved that we ain't none of that. And now if we fuck around and beat the Bucs, if the Bucs fuck around and find out that we ain't the old Lions, if we get a dub this Sunday, one or two things going to happen. We're either going to face the 49ers in San Francisco if they beat the Packers, or the Packers going to have to come to us at our house, because they still the number 7 seed. The Niners win, we got to face them at their house because they're the number 1 seed. The Packers win, they got to face us because we're the number 3 seed. But either way, we win this game, we're going to the NFC Championship. And I didn't even respond like when I said, you get us to the NFC Championship. All I said was just but you get us in the NFC Championship, whether it's here or in San Francisco. We get to the NFC Championship, you can't tell us nothing for the next 5 years. That's the truth. You ain't going to be able to tell us nothing for the next 5 years if we make it to the NFC Championship. The playoff win just gave us a right to talk shit this year. We go to the NFC Championship, beat the Bucs. Oh, we gonna be talking shit. Don't let us turn delusional. I don't want us to be delusional. All I just want is one before I die. That's all I want. I ain't clamoring for us to be a dynasty. So, man, just don't count us out. I think it's that thing that the media is starting not to count us out, man. And once again, I'm gonna go back to Dan Orlovsky, because this is what pissed me off about him. Aside from him picking the Rams when they was going against us, they let him do a Stephen A's list of the top 5 most scary quarterbacks in the playoffs. The scariest quarterbacks, and we weren't on that list. We weren't on that list. And that's once again another reason for me to want to slap the taste out of Dan Orlovsky, because how is Jared Goff not scary? How is he not scary? Like I said, we keep him protected on the offensive line. Ain't no telling who you gonna throw it to. And then you get him that comfortable to where we gonna throw it. That means he's able to hand off the ball to Jameer or David Montgomery, who can run through motherfuckers. That's scary. That is not scary to you, Dan Orlovsky? It must not be, because you still mad because you took us to 0-16. Bottom line. Instead of sitting on your ass and being an analyst about it, Dan Orlovsky, this is 2 types of people from that 0-16 squad. people that's pissed off and want to do something about it, and people that sit home and complain about why or whatever. Darren Orlovsky is one of those dudes that sit home and talk from the sidelines. Dan Campbell is one of the motherfuckers that fought through everything and tried to make himself a better person, a better player, and make himself a better energy source for a team. He tried to do it as a player in the Cowboys, with the Lions, with the Saints, who won a championship in that year and time he played for them. But he was so injured, they didn't even give him a Super Bowl ring. He won the Super Bowl when Drew Brees was the quarterback. He was part of that franchise, but he was so injured that he couldn't even get the ring. You know how much that crushes and motivates you? You know how much that can do to you? So Dan Campbell said, fuck this, man. All right, I can't play no more. Okay, I'll be a tight ends coach for the Dolphins. I forgot what other team he was coaching for at the time, but he went from being a tight ends coach to doing, like, he went from being a tight ends coach for other teams and being so much of a help for other squads that Detroit said, you know what? Come on, man. We see what you're talking about. And look what he's been doing in the past 3 years. In the past 3 years, he talked about biting kneecaps. Last week, we just took Tyler Higbee's. It's two types of people. It's two types of lions in this world. You can be a Dan Orlovsky lion, or you can be a Dan Campbell lion. I'll take Campbell over Orlovsky any day. Because Dan Campbell believed. Orlovsky left because he was tired of believing. And you can see he still don't believe. Because why is he putting Baker Mayfield in the list of scary quarterbacks? You trying to motivate us? No, that ain't how it goes. So Darren Orlovsky, you can stay on the other side of the fence and watch us shake up the world. Watch us shock the world. Watch us possibly go to Vegas, where my mom will be going to, regardless of if we go to the Super Bowl or not. She's going to Vegas. She's going to the Super Bowl. Cam predicted it's going to be the Lions and the Ravens at the Super Bowl. He already predicted them earlier in the year as the NFC sleeper. And look what we're doing. Cowboys is out of there. The Eagles are out of there. And those are the two top teams, aside from the 49ers, that everybody was talking about. Now they ain't got no choice but to talk about us or the Ravens. They talking about the Bucks and the Packers because they're sleepers. And they're underdogs. But the Packers, you know, they have a history. And shout out to Jordan Love for showing up, because that's just continuing that Packer streak of having a good quarterback right after the last great quarterback leaves. Brett Favre is gone, you got Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is gone, now you got Jordan Love. And he's shown how good he can get. He beat us in Thanksgiving. So we do have to watch out for the Packers, because if they beat the 49ers, like I said, they got to face us at home, and they beat us at home last time. So that's going to be a tough one. Not saying that the Niners won't be a tough one, but the Niners been slipping lately. They really number one just because of their prior work and just being a little bit more consistent than what Philly and the Dallas could do, and us even. So either way, man, teams got to be scared of us. The quarterback ain't got to be scared. I said it on my Instagram. I mean, not Instagram, but my Twitter or X, whatever. The quarterback ain't got to be scary. The team is scary enough. These guys fear us now. Like I said, they fear us. So I ain't gonna keep talking about who I think or who I hope to win. You see who I'm going for. But I already said this for most of the season. If we win this playoff win, I don't care if we lose. I wouldn't be too mad, because guess what? We still proved motherfuckers wrong that we wasn't going to get as far as we did. And we did. So if we lose, fine. But that just means we going to whoop motherfuckers' asses. I already know what the season's going to be. Just ain't no dates to it. But I already know what our season's going to encompass. We got the AFC South and the NFC West coming up. That means we're going to have a rematch with the Rams. Whether we face them or not in the NFC Championship, if we make it there, we're going to face the Niners next year. We're going to face the Cowboys. We're going to face the Bucks, I believe. And we're going to face the Bills. We got some teams that's gonna be on our asses trying to prove, like gonna try to prove us otherwise. Okay, y'all have one good season. Y'all think y'all something? Oh yeah, we're gonna prove it next year. We're gonna prove that this season was not a fluke. So that's the biggest thing I'm happy for. That we made it this far to prove to the rest of the NFL we ain't playing with y'all no more. We're done being jokes. The only joke right now in the NFL is the freaking Cowboys. So looking forward to Sunday. I don't know if it's a bar down the street right next to my job. So I don't know if I'll be going to that bar to watch that game so I won't be annoying my grandmother. Because after we won, I didn't put it up on my I should have put it up on my I should have put it up as a short on my YouTube, but I put it up on my Twitter, like, you know, like a couple of stuff here and there. I'll be put on my Facebook. Nigga, once we won, I ran outside the door and made snow angels. shouting outside the apartments. We did it! Cause like, dude, it's something I've been waiting to see. Like I was 4 years old. 32 years. I was 4 years old last time we won a playoff game. So yeah, that was the Barry Sanders era. But the last time I see, like, you know, I've been, like I said this before, I've been to games like 97, 98 in the Pontiac Silverdome watching Barry Sanders versus the Buccaneers. I've seen them games. I've been to those games before, man. So I've seen and felt all of this agony that Detroit is going through. I ain't no bandwagon Detroit fan. I'm not. It's just that as a regular Detroiter, I got tired in seeing us being the laughing stock of the NFL. No matter how great Barry Sanders was, no matter how great Megatron and Matthew Stafford was, we could not go nowhere. Nowhere. And the last time we was 12-4, we got screwed by the Cowboys. So it's just refreshing, man. It's just a refreshing thing to be able to say, I'm glad to be a Lions fan. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud to be a Lions fan because we ain't no fucking joke no more. So thank you, Dan Campbell. Thank you, Brad Holmes, for establishing this new foundation of building a legacy, man. This is a new day. It's a new day. Whether we win or lose this Sunday, this is a new day for the Lions Corporation, for the Lions organization, for Lions fans, and for the Lions players, because most of these guys, I don't know if they know the agony of how bad this team was, man. I don't think they know. Some of them do, but most of them don't, man. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Jared Goff and Penei Sewell, they've been here for only as long as Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes have been here. And once again, big up to Brad Holmes, man, for killing the pick, for killing the draft, how he did. You know what I'm saying? Getting the picks that we got. And look how great these dudes are. Jahmyr Gibbs and Sam Laporta, they're in runnings for Rookie of the Year because of how great they've been doing, bro. So big ups to Brad Holmes, man. I'm looking forward, even with us having a low seed, a real low seed. And mind you, the draft, the NFL draft is going to be in Detroit. So, you know, Detroit don't care what the number is. We just looking forward to seeing who else we going to pick up to, who's going to be our extra piece to take us to the next level. So, once again, big ups to Brad Holmes. Major big ups to MCDC for being a coach that says, I want redemption for not just me, but for the whole city. So big ups to him. Big ups to Brad Holmes. Big ups to Sheila Hamp and Sheila Ford, I think, the older lady. Because it's time, man. It's time. We ain't playing no more. We ain't playing. When the blue and silver wave, stand and cheer the brave. All right. That's 20 minutes into that. I'm trying to go as long as I can. The longer I can go, the less I can wait to get my check. Next up, road to the Royal Rumble. So far, the WWE Royal Rumble is looking kind of fun. We already know that CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, they're going to be the top two people to look at in this Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns, he's finally going to be in a fatal four-way match during his run as undisputed WWE champion, Universal, whatever. Randy Orton versus LA Knight versus AJ Styles versus Roman. We all know that Roman's going to retain it. Fantasy Mark Bookers want to make Randy Orton be the winner so that it can be Cody versus Roman. I mean Cody versus Randy for the legacy, whatever. No, that's not happening that way. But then, beginning of the year, on day one Raw, the first day of the year, guess who decides to come out and want to challenge the head of the table? The Brahma freaking Bull. Just comes out of nowhere, interrupt Jinder Mahal's speech because Triple H is so good at booking. He said a former WWE champion was going to return that night. And when Samantha Irvin introduced the former WWE champion, it ended up being Jinder Mahal. So Jinder Mahal ended up getting the heat that he got, talking his shit, but The Rock comes out, interrupts him. The crowd goes stupid crazy. And The Rock does his normal thing, talks his shit. I guess this new thing with The Rock, because when The Rock came back in Denver on SmackDown, like October or something, October, September or something, but it was around the time that Denver was in, like, you know, SmackDown was in Denver, and Denver is where Colorado is. Colorado, Deion Sanders. The Rock showed up at ESPN for Pat McAfee College Game Day and Deion Sanders. So he's like, fuck it, I'll show up for SmackDown too. But when he was doing that, he did the "you are an asshole" chants. One side of the crowd said "you are," that side of the crowd says "an asshole." If you're an Attitude Era fan like me, you know that he got that from the time that he got drafted to SmackDown in the 2002 WWE draft. And the reason why he did that chant is because Penn State has a chant, because the last time when he did it the first time, he was at Penn State. I know I'm going off the subject, but, you know, I'm giving y'all backstory for people that, you know, for those that don't know. When The Rock got drafted to SmackDown by Vince McMahon, it was at Penn State. It was at whatever building they play, I think that where they play basketball at. And The Rock, he's a Miami Hurricane. So it said, being that The Rock has been here on plenty nights playing football against Penn State, I always heard those little chants that says, on one side, the crowd says, "we are." The other side says, "Penn State." So he just like, so, and since Vince, like he said, Vince has taken him from Raw, where he's had so many great moments, he said, like, every time you mess with the people or mess with The Rock, every arena, and it unfortunately, they tried to do it. I remember they tried to do it like a couple weeks. It didn't work though. But he said one side of the arena is going to chant "you are," the other side is going to chant "an asshole." So that's where that came from. The "you are an asshole" chants that he did with Pat McAfee and Austin Theory on that SmackDown. Fast forward to now, or back to day one Raw, he did it again. This time he called Jinder Mahal the day one douchebag. And for a good 3 minutes, he had the crowd chant "day one douchebag." Then he proceeded to whoop Jinder Mahal's ass after he sung the rendition of the national anthem. But after he whooped his ass, he said he was going to eat somewhere. Now, where should The Rock eat? Should I eat in a booth? Should I eat at a bar? Or should I eat at the head of the table? Paul Heyman addresses it a little bit. Roman Reigns scoffed and laughed at it. But the fact that The Rock says, "I'm heading for Roman Reigns," a lot of people are talking, still talking, because it's the fact that Rock wants to go against Roman. There's only one logical place for this to happen at: WrestleMania. The problem is, Cody Rhodes has been saying, "I need to finish the story." And he has not been going for Seth Rollins' World Heavyweight Championship. He still wants his revenge against Roman Reigns. They faced off maybe once or twice. I think only one time. They've had a face-off only one time, when Cody and Jay was the undisputed tag team champions. So everybody's like, Cody ain't finishing his story. I'm getting sick of this story. This story has been boring. He's been doing side missions, all this shit, this, that, and the third. And then now on top of that, you got The Rock coming back saying he wants Roman Reigns. CM Punk, he says he's trying to main event WrestleMania. There's a lot of roadblocks within Cody's story road, but it's all in speculation. The logical thing would be that, you know, the best thing about CM Punk being back is that he's like, you know, it's looking like he's there for a minute. He's going to be there for long term. So it's going to be a couple of things that he wants to do. And main event WrestleMania is definitely the one thing that he wants to start with. But also Seth Rollins, you saw the promo. I don't know if it was, I think it was last week, because this week he defended the title against Jinder Mahal. Let's not even get into that. It's long story short, Seth retained his championship. But Seth said the week before that he's never main evented a WrestleMania neither. As great as a career he's had in his entire career, he stole a main event at WrestleMania. If you already, you know what I'm talking about, the greatest cash in WrestleMania and Money in the Bank history. And Seth Rollins has had some amazing moments. He's opened up WrestleManias with stellar matches. He's gave us OMG moments at WrestleManias, couple of them. But one thing he has not done, he's even won the championship. He's won the WWE and Universal Championship at WrestleMania. But the one thing he has not done is headline, be the last match of the night at a WrestleMania. So Seth and CM Punk, they're going to make that happen. That's going to happen because one, Seth is owed a main event at WrestleMania. He's been doing so much great shit within the past 9-10 years that he's been here on a WrestleMania marquee. From, like I said, from like, let's go chronologically from having that OMG moment with Randy Orton and at the same night cashing in on Brock and Roman Reigns. The year after that, unfortunately, he got injured, so he couldn't make it. But the year after that, he proves himself to still be a big matchmaker with him and Triple H at WrestleMania 33. The next year, he opens up a classic triple threat match with him and Finn Balor and The Miz. One of my favorite triple threat matches to ever watch because it was just, you know, just watch it. WrestleMania 34, first match, Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, The Miz, IC Championship. WrestleMania 35, he opens up WrestleMania, first match of the night, beating Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship because the main event of the night was his future wife-to-be taking both belts from Charlotte and Ronda Rousey. WrestleMania 36, pandemic, I believe. It was the pandemic, and he had one of the craziest matches with Kevin Owens in an empty arena. Him versus Cesaro at WrestleMania 37. It's a sleeper. It's a sleeper. It was Cesaro's last WrestleMania, and he made sure he made him look good. WrestleMania 38 has one of the greatest matches with Cody Rhodes and his first match back and return in WWE. And in 39 gives us a great one with Logan Paul. So he's done so much. And I ain't even mentioned the stuff he did with the Shield. He had two good matches with the Shield at WrestleMania. Two good moments. So it's time for him to main event at WrestleMania. He's been the world champion. He's been the inaugural World Heavyweight Champion since May, and he's been doing a great job holding on to that belt, being the face of Monday Night Raw, which he's already kind of been before that belt made his debut. It's been Monday Night Rollins since 2018. So Seth, it's about time for him to main event a Monday night. It's about time for him to main event a WrestleMania. And who better to do it with than CM Punk, which leads Cody Rhodes to his destination. Now, going back to The Rock and Roman, people saying it may be Rock versus Roman at night 1, and then Cody versus Roman at night 2. Maybe, maybe not, but then that'll take away the main event that Seth and Punk needs. Other people are saying it's going to be The Rock versus Roman at Elimination Chamber in Perth, Australia. But then you see rumors from Dave Meltzer talking about Roman Reigns is scheduled to not be at Elimination Chamber. I don't believe that. Now, I don't believe that he'll be in France. I believe that, France, after WrestleMania, Backlash is going to be in France. Roman is scheduled not to be there for that. I could believe that because I believe he ain't gonna win. He ain't gonna have the title after that. So I'd rather believe in the possibility of The Rock versus Roman Reigns at Australia at Perth, because I checked the arena where it's going to be at, and it definitely holds about 50,000 some people. Perth is really going to try to get that money to get The Rock there. I think it's probably is the first pay-per-view that's going to be pay-per-view, because they've done tours all around the world, like home shows, all that type of stuff. But the first pay-per-view, first full pay-per-view that they're going to do in Australia at Elimination Chamber, and they want to make and the WWE has been proven to be a global phenomenon in PLEs. You saw how great they could be in Wales for Clash at the Castle. Recently, even the Crown Jewel pay-per-views have been nice in Saudi Arabia. Can we say Montreal, even though they travel to Canada every once in a while, but just had that electric crowd in Montreal last year for Elimination Chamber for Sami Zayn, that just added a different element. Backlash in Puerto Rico, crazy. Money in the Bank in London, crazy. Night of Champions in Saudi, amazing. Because of how that night ended. Shoot, man, it's just so much, so many big things, so much global monumental moments that I think Australia will be damned if they can't have a big moment for them and like at a pay-per-view. So The Rock versus Roman, I would like to see that happen there. And my opinion is, I don't think it's gonna be for the championship. The Rock ain't coming for the championship. He's an 11-time champion. He don't need the championship. What he needs is to prove that he's the true head of the table. Because Roman, before Alpha popped you out before Alpha thought of you when you was just a sperm in your daddy's nutsack, The Rock was already deemed. He was on his way. He was already on his way. You saw how he put you on the Young Rock show when that was still running. You was begging for The Rock to give you a Samoan drop when you was a kid. So you've been begging for this. You've been begging for this. Yeah, The Rock is approaching you now because you think you run this shit. You think you're really the head of the table. What? Before there was even a title of the head of the table, I've been the head of the table since 1999. So it's not for the title. It's for that statement of saying that, nigga, I've been running this Samoan shit before you even thought of. You know what I'm saying? So, like, would I want to see The Rock beat Roman Reigns? Maybe. And then on the other hand, if it's for the title, okay, he's gonna lose. If it's for the head of the table, I think The Rock should win. And then on the other end, when I think about they saying it maybe happen at WrestleMania, this is the thing about The Rock. The Rock, he doesn't have the greatest WrestleMania record in the world, but the guys that he's beat at WrestleMania, he's beaten the Mount Rushmore of WWE. He beat Hulk Hogan. He beat Stone Cold. He beat John Cena. Those three guys are the 3 or 4 heads of the highest draws of Mount Rushmore wrestling. Aside from him, he beat the 3 biggest draws in the company. Roman Reigns is another one of the biggest draws in the company. Whether you love him or hate him, he's one of the biggest draws in the company. If he could get that on his resume to say, I beat Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, then he is the biggest draw in the company. And he really kind of is. In or out the company, he's the reason why people watch the movies that they watch. He's the reason why Fast and Furious is the franchise that it is from 5 on up. You know what I'm saying? People want to see Fast 5, Fast 6, Fast 7, Fate of the Furious. He wasn't in F9. He was at the end of Fast 10, but he's going to be in Fast 11. And the fact that he, like, you know, when he's on a movie, people want to see it because that's The Rock. That's not Dwayne Johnson of people. That is The Rock. So he's the biggest draw of all time. Roman, you're just a big draw right now because I'll let you. Like, nigga, I'm the real head of the table. My tribal chief's name, he has a real chief name. He is a real tribal chief in real life. Sayuli is his name, if you ain't know. Talking about The Rock. So I think if The Rock and Roman go against each other, it should be at Elimination Chamber. Get all the money you can. Throw the biggest sales pitch you can to get The Rock in Australia. But then people going to be like, that's a big waste of money. Why not? Why are you going to waste The Rock at Elimination Chamber when he could easily be at WrestleMania? Because even though WrestleMania is the end of the fiscal year, that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be it's always going to be the biggest night it's going to be the biggest night of WWE. Mostly the biggest night in wrestling history, because ain't no other bigger night. Starrcade is gone. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no AEW show that can overdo what WrestleMania does. They ain't got nothing that marquee. They could try to make All In that type of show, but it ain't equivalent to a WrestleMania. Shout out to Wrestle Kingdom for being what it is. I think they had like New Japan, that's like Wrestle Kingdom 19 or something. If I'm wrong, forgive me. But still, that's only at the Tokyo Dome. WrestleMania travels every city around the world. You know what I'm saying? They've done WrestleManias in like at least 19 or 20 cities. The big market cities: Los Angeles, Detroit, Philadelphia, which is this year, Arizona, Atlanta, Miami. They go to the big joints. They go to the big places. So and they even, like, you know, it'd be crazy if they do a WrestleMania in London. Just think about Money in the Bank when John Cena did what he did. But it's not more so about where, you know, as far as it's not so much as about what pay-per-view it should be at. It's about how much people gonna watch it. Because you know what I'm saying? I think it's more so about that. It ain't gotta be about it's at WrestleMania. It's about how many people are gonna come to see it. So Rock versus Roman, like I said, I think it'll be better at a Elimination Chamber, while Cody Rhodes fight for a shot at the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. I predict that CM Punk will win the Royal Rumble, and he will choose Seth Rollins to win the Royal Rumble, or to go against that. He'll choose Seth Rollins to fight against at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship, and that's when that story is going to keep on cooking, because they slowly cooking. They're doing a slow cook. Next week, they're going to have Cody and CM Punk. They're going to have them, you know what Cody wants to talk about. And CM Punk knows for damn sure what Cody wants to talk about. So, Cody, he wants to finish his story. CM Punk wants to main event WrestleMania. They ain't gotta, both these guys can win their cases. CM Punk's going to win the Royal Rumble. Cody Rhodes, he's going to be so desperate. And not even desperate, because the shit with Drew McIntyre, he's trying to right his wrongs and beat this dude. You see what he's doing. So I see him. This is what I say. I'm not the only person that says this. It's going to be a 6-man Elimination Chamber match to determine who will face Roman Reigns. When CM Punk wins the Royal Rumble and chooses Seth Rollins, the spot for Roman Reigns is going to be open. So Nick Aldis, he's going to make a 6-man Elimination Chamber match, have 3 guys from SmackDown qualify, have 3 guys from Raw qualify. The Raw guys, I can predict they will be Drew McIntyre, Jey Uso, and Cody Rhodes. Those are going to be the 3 guys to qualify for Raw. For SmackDown, I can see the same 3 dudes that's going to lose in the Fatal 4-Way. LA Knight, AJ Styles, and Randy Orton. Those 3 all in pods, or those 4 in chamber pods, 4 of those 6 in chamber pods. And Cody's going to be the last one standing. He's going to finish his story. That's how I see it. The Rock being a part of the story is just, he need, like, it's definitely going to be I don't try to speculate too much. I just try to state the obvious. You know what I'm saying? So am I saying that? I don't know what I'm saying. I just say that I'm looking forward to this road to WrestleMania. Royal Rumble in the next 8 days is going to be a big thing to watch. I'm predicting some comebacks. Like, I want Big E to come back. I want to see him come back. I'm predicting Trinity, aka Naomi's going to come back. She just dropped the title to Jordan Grace at A Time to Kill in TNA. TNA is just like it turned from Impact to TNA. So now you got the new Knockout Women's Champion. I think that Trinity's going to come back as Naomi. I will hope to see Sasha Banks come back in the WWE, but if not, I ain't mad at that. But I will hope to also see Big E come back, Sami Zayn, because he's been written off the storyline due to what Drew McIntyre did to him. It's going to be a fun Royal Rumble, man, but I'm predicting CM Punk to win the Royal Rumble, the men's Royal Rumble. The women's Royal Rumble, I don't know just yet. People are either going to be saying Bayley or Becky Lynch. People want to see Bayley go against Io Sky because right now Bayley is being looked at as the worst member of Damage Control because she's taking all these L's, getting hurt for the Damage Control team, but also losing for the Damage Control team. So, and people see that the Asian connection and Dakota Kai looking at her like, you fucking up. You making us look bad. And Bayley's the person that made this team. She the one that made this whole thing possible. It started with Io Sky and Dakota Kai. But then you add Kairi Sane and Asuka, the Kabuki Warriors. And then Io Sky on top of that is the champion. It's like, it's like, what are you doing, Bayley? You've been in this stable. You started the stable. You ain't won the champion since. You making us look bad. So I don't have a clear choice on who to think will win the Royal Rumble, but I bet you the last final 3 would be Bayley, Becky, and Nia Jax. I'm betting you that. But I hope Sasha Banks come back because this is the crazy thing. Kairi Sane, she dropped her title. She dropped her New Japan or IWGP Women's Championship to Mercedes Moné when Mercedes was in New Japan. Sasha Banks, that is. So that'd be crazy to see Sasha Banks come back and help out Bayley beat up the like. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. Royal Rumble is going to be interesting. Hopefully, ain't gonna be no flood winners like last year's, because last year's winners was trash. Well, not last year. Not like men's Royal Rumble. Cody Rhodes, good pick, but that was an obvious pick. Then it was Ronda Rousey, and they ain't do no good. No, was it Ronda Rousey? No, my bad. It was Rhea Ripley. My fault. I'm thinking about 2022's Royal Rumble. My bad. 2022's Royal Rumble. Brock Lesnar and Ronda Rousey. Horrible picks. This year they had great picks. Cody and Rhea Ripley. This year I just keep that going. So that's that on that. The road to Royal Rumble is looking crazy. It's making us look even more forward to WrestleMania coming up. So I'm through with that subject. Next subject, I'm gonna tie this like into 2 pieces. It's like both of these it's like I had 2 different subjects after this, but I'm gonna tie it up into one. Club Shay for the last 2 weeks has been the hottest thing that people talk about. Country Wayne just dropped his new episode, but we ain't talking about that KW. We talk about the KW that came before him, who started the year off setting the internet on fire. Katt Williams. He got on Club Shay and let loose on everybody that he felt was telling lies about his career, or just telling lies overall. Jumped on Ricky Smiley for saying that Ricky Smiley was supposed to have been Money Mike and Katt was supposed to have been the Santa Claus crook. Got on his ass for saying that I ain't gonna do another movie with him unless he wears a dress, and First Sunday was their next movie. Saying that Steve Harvey stole Mark Curry's material, from not only just his material up to the shows that he did, hanging with Mr. Cooper and the Steve Harvey show. Saying that they wanted him to be a part of the Kings of Comedy at a certain time, but he said no because y'all shitted on Bernie Mac. Said that Ludacris gave away his image to be a part of the Fast and Furious movies that he's on. Saying that Diddy invited him to parties, and sometimes you gotta tell him no. Like, dude, he went crazy. He went crazy. He said this is the year of telling the truth. And it's hard to believe that for a lot of people, because these guys are the people you look up to. They have such great characteristics and such, like, you know, they talk so, like they have such, you know, whatever. But one thing I always like to say to certain people, especially marks, I'm from wrestling references in it, but especially the people that, you know, that just like them because of what they see on the surface. You don't know what these dudes do. I don't either. But one thing I'm not going to do, look, there's your side, there's their side, and then there's the truth. Now, what you may say is the truth is one thing. But the truth is going to reveal itself in due time. Katt Williams, I can believe what he said about Diddy because look what's happening to Diddy now. Steve Harvey, talk about Steve Harvey ain't coming back to doing jokes because guess who kicked him out of the joke world? He couldn't do no jokes after I whooped his ass in that comedy championship show at the Joe Louis Arena. I remember that shit. I wasn't there for it, but I remember seeing videos of that shit. That's the last time we remember Steve Harvey with a hairpiece. Like, dude, like it's the truth is going to show up one way or another. So I'm not worried or speculating. I didn't even watch none of the reactions of the dudes that he was talking about, how they responded to him, because I don't care. If you defended yourself that much to where you got to say something about it, then you're feeling guilty about it. That means you felt a certain way, and that means you may have did some of these things that Katt's talking about. You know what I'm saying? And I commend Katt for doing that because he ain't afraid of being canceled. Unlike so many people that's lower in the bracket, you know what I'm saying? That's people like you and me. People like you and me, you know, we do our, and even people that's above me, you know what I'm saying? Like people on internet, TV, whatever, they do all these things. They try to censor themselves and censor their mannerisms because they don't want to get canceled by certain people. My question is, why? Why are you scared to get canceled? You got a platform to say what you want to say. First Amendment is given to us. That ain't no, it's a privilege, but it's also a right. You got the right to say whatever the fuck you want to say about whoever the hell you want to say. If people get offended, then oh well. If what you said, you know, even if it has some type of malice to it, it's what you said. You know what I'm saying? Your viewpoint don't reflect what the rest of the world is thinking. Your viewpoint should not affect the next man's thought process, but it does. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z said it best on Ain't No Love in the Heart of the City. What you eat don't make me shit. You know what I'm saying? What you digest down your mouth, it's not going, what you digest down your throat, pause, is not going to shit out my ass. You know what I'm saying? What I eat and what I digest is not going to make you shit. Do what you do. Say what you want. And stop being worried about the powers that be. Because if they were really worried about your opinion, if they really were worried about your opinion, things would have been done already. And not saying that on a big scale, you know what I'm saying? No, it's like, you know, you get certain eyes on you, and then you have people like it's crazy. And my viewpoint ain't gonna change on this either. If I ever go up to, like, you know, on my Instagram, I just lost my first Instagram page. So I'm not planning on trying to get a comeback through that shit. My highest following was like 27,000 followers, I think. But even then, I was still going reckless. And I don't mean like super reckless, that's in the point of I don't give a fuck. But at the same time, I didn't give a fuck. I knew that I couldn't touch on certain things, but at the same time, I still talked about what I wanted to talk about. I'm not going to bite my tongue for nothing when it comes to media. Now, when it comes to family and relationships or other things like that, there's going to be some things I keep taboo. But when it comes to the powers that be and the power and the power of freedom of speech, I'm letting that shit loose. I'm letting that shit loose. And the reason why people are scared to talk about the powers that be, because the powers that be, the people that run this world, they're closet gays. Let's be real about it, man. Let's be real about this. They're in the closet and they get sensitive when we, like, you know, why do you think Dave Chappelle gets so much flack for talking about trannies? Because those same trannies got to pay him $60 million for a special on Netflix. And they can't stop him because people are still watching it. When you got the power to make people to make people run with you, the powers can't do nothing about it. It may take a minute, but the truth is going to come out eventually, and the people are going to want the truth. People are going to want that freedom to say, man, fuck that. Say what you was about to say anyway. And shout out to Dave Chappelle for that dreamer joke, man. I'm going to watch it again. But my favorite joke, I ain't going to say my favorite joke, but I love how he opened it. You know, he talked about when his dad died, and that really just shut him down. And Norm Macdonald gave him an opportunity to see Jim Carrey while he was filming The Man on the Moon, the Life of Andy Kaufman movie. And when he got to meet him, he found out that the whole crew, that like the whole movie staff, had to address Jim Carrey as Andy Kaufman because Jim Carrey was so engulfed in this role that he wanted to make sure that he stayed Andy Kaufman on and off the set. So don't call him Jim, call him Andy. Dave, unfortunately, had to be the one of the few to be like, what are you talking about? That's Jim Carrey. But he understood, and he was like, fine. For as long as I had to meet him and talk to him, I had to call him Jim Carrey. And that's how trannies make me feel. And he said, oh, here we go. Here we go. But that's just what I mean. You know, he didn't care about, he's like, yep. He didn't say, oh, yep, I'm going to get canceled after this one. He'd have been canceled before. For much worse. And not even, like, he canceled himself. How about that? It's the people that know that they ain't got, like, that, like, I don't care. It's the people that know that, yeah, I'll risk it. I will risk it. I will risk my freedom of, not freedom of speech. I will risk my freedom to, I'm gonna risk my freedom of ability to use that freedom of speech, because they can take away They can try to take away your voice, but it ain't gonna stop you from speaking. You know what I'm saying? It's like a famous person having 2 pages. You know what I'm saying? Like this perfect example of Cameron. Cameron, it is what it is. Say Cameron say some wild shit on his personal page. He gets banned from that for 30 days. He can go straight to it is what it is and do the same thing there. Because guess what? People like me so much that I can have a couple of platforms to say what I want to say. And you ain't gonna stop me from saying what I want to say. So going back down to like other people, you know what I'm saying? I watch reaction videos, you know what I'm saying? I watch a lot of reaction videos. And one thing that really irks me is when some people, especially us, Black people, we don't want to ruffle people's feathers because we have an audience, we have the certain amount of subscribers, and we know some of those subscribers may be a little bit kumsi, but we worried about saying the wrong thing that we like, no, I ain't gonna say that, it's gonna be canceled. Canceled? You really mean you're gonna get reported? You really scared that one of these fags gonna flag your shit and then you're gonna have to shut down your shit? I ain't worried about that. You know why? And I'm sorry to say that. Like, you know, I apologize saying fag with flags. I just had to rhyme it. But bottom line is this: people are in fear of being possibly shut up. I ain't in fear of that. I've been a part of a community activist poet group where I was reckless. When I say reckless, I mean fearless. That's another thing. I'm gonna take that back. I wasn't reckless. I was fearless. When I said the stuff I said in my rhymes, I was fearless. Did not care what you thought, because this is my thoughts. These ain't your thoughts. You came to hear what I thought. I'm not here to unless I write stuff specifically for people. I'm not here to appease your thinking. I'm here to give you my point of view and let you see how I see it. If you can't see how I see it, then at least you hear my point of view. At least you know where I'm coming from. So if you want to start the division of I rock with him because he said this, or I don't rock with him because he said this, start it now. Start it now, because I'm not going to stop with how I think, and I'm not going to stop saying how I say when I say it. Now, maybe, you know, like now, some things when it comes to how you say it, you know, you got to be articulate. You have to be comprehensive to the people that you're talking to. And you also have to make sure you're being articulate enough. You know what I'm saying? I do my best to try to be I don't try to be super wordy with you guys, but I call it intelligent talk because it's coming from my brain. It's coming from, like, these thoughts is coming from, you know, a certain part of my brain where it's like something has to be said. So the intelligence I try to show you is the fact that, you know, you got your freedom. You know what I'm saying? You worried about being locked down on Facebook jail, YouTube blocking? Now, yeah, if you got a following that may stop your revenue, that may stop your people from, they may stop the algorithm may fuck all that up. But the real one's gonna come back. It's like Chisel Adonis. He dropped the wild card highlight video commentary. He dropped it live, and in midway of that shit, they cut him off. Now, is that going to stop people from wanting to rock with his channel? No. What it's going to do is have people anticipating for the next one, for the divisional round video. That's what it's going to have people doing. It's going to have more people say, fuck it, I'm going to subscribe to his Patreon and watch the full video there, which is what I do. I'm a full supporter. I said this before. I'm a full supporter of Chisel Adonis, unless I'm broke and my shit I ain't have 30 to hold on to it to get that shit. But bottom line is, when you a real one that say what you want to say, people are going to stick by you and wait for your next time that you go crazy or next time that you do talk. So real recognize real. I mean, it's a common statement, but it can't be no more true than that. The real people recognize the real sentiments. And I'm giving y'all that from my heart. So I'm not afraid of no cancel culture. I'm not afraid of Susan I think Susan runs the NFL. I'm not afraid of Nancy or any of y'all on YouTube shut down my page. I've been on here for over 15 some years. I've been here since college. You know what I'm saying? If it comes down to it, I'll just download all the videos that I liked on my page, put them on my flash drive, and re-release them, re-release the ones that have some type of sentiment. A lot of the stuff I got on there is college memories, battle rap shit, and then a couple of joints here and there that y'all copyright claim took down on me. So I'm not worried about you fools, man. What I'm worried about is elevate myself to the next level. Now, it's going to be certain steps to do that with, but the one thing that's not going to stop me is y'all shutting down my page because I said what I wanted to say. So big up to Katt Williams for letting the truth out. Big up to everybody else that wants to let out their truth regardless of what consequences that may come about because this world is too sensitive or there's gay people that run the world. You know what I'm saying? I'm not scared of y'all, man. I'm not scared of y'all because you gay people can't have kids no way. Y'all got to adopt them. You know what I'm saying? You gay folks are making a possible belief that, yeah, man, I've been to meetings where there's going to be humans with no genitalia, man, in the future. Not in the near future, but maybe somewhere in about where it's like, look what's happening, man. Look what's happening. Too much same-sex marriages and too many women adopting children that they can't have because, you know what I'm saying? They go into the sperm bank and filling up their pussy instead of getting a real nigga put one in them because they don't believe in black people. They don't believe in men no more. And men having ass babies. I ain't part of this program, you know what I'm saying? I'm not scared of y'all, dude. Excuse my hair. I'm not scared of y'all, man. I'm not scared. How Bernie Mac said, I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. Because y'all ain't even fucking mothers, y'all fucking brothers. I got the right to say whatever the hell I want to say, man. And I dare you to tell me I can't say it. That's my point, man. That's my point. So shout out to the people that ain't scared to let they words go, to let those feelings go, because can't hold it in. Especially if you're telling the truth. Especially if you're telling the truth. If you're a truth teller, you can't hold that truth within you. You gotta let that truth be known. Whether they call you a whistleblower or a snitch, whatever, man. Let your truth out. LTSG. You know what I'm saying? Nonetheless, though, man, this is my first. I think that was about all my subjects I could get out the way, man. Happy New Year. I think I said this earlier. Whether it's the first, I don't know, if it's the year started. If you're enjoying your year, big ups to y'all. If you haven't made a resolution, it's okay. Take baby steps. You know what I'm saying? Even though this world is moving fast, it doesn't mean you have to. As long as you moving, that's what counts. So big ups to everybody that's here, that's watching this, if you are watching it. I'm really just looking forward to how this year is going to turn out. Some moves that's going to be made. And as you can see, this is my first, like I said, aside from the live show when I was watching the game, it's going to be like this for probably a couple months. You know what I mean? I might do one outside if it's warm enough. But it may be like this for a minute because it's winter in Michigan. So I'm just looking forward to talking more with y'all this year, man. Like I said, I'm going to keep this shit going. It's a chick that's doing ASMR that's done a video every single day. Most ASMR people overall, they'll do Monday, Wednesdays, or Fridays. They have a certain schedule. This chick has been doing ASMR for 31 days straight. So I'm trying to that's inspiring me to say, you know what? I'm gonna keep being consistent with my shit. So I'll see y'all next week if we make it to the divisional round. And if not, then I'll see y'all next week and talk about the steps we gonna need to take to make it to the divisional round and NFC Championship next year. So much other stuff we got to talk about. I still want to collaborate with certain people, man. It's one It's this one podcast that's out right now. I already talked about him prior to my Sex is Sacred podcast on 7 Mile Radio. It's hosted by this girl named Shayna, and I forgot her co-host. My apologies, but right now she's doing her thing. I doubt if I'll see her tonight if I do go out to NEP. but I want to, like, you're gonna see me have more collaborations with people this year, because aside from the subjects that I talk about, I want to talk about other things. I want to give y'all more subjects to tackle on. Like I said, I want to talk about mental health. I want to talk about, relationships. I want to talk about a couple things, but I want it to be a back and forth conversation. You feel me? So I'm looking forward to try to collaborate with these people. I want to collaborate with you if you're watching. If you got some thoughts and things to recollect with, shoot, me and my mama might be talking about some stuff because she's been trying to get me on live with her. But I'm just looking forward to this year, man. Not just for the fact that we might win a Super Bowl, but I'm just looking forward to what 2024 has to bring, because my friends got some things lined up in the works. I got some things I'm trying to do. So just be looking forward to the journey, man. In the words of Kendrick Lamar Mortar, man, it's like, as I lead this journey, make room for mistakes and depression. Feel me? But we still gonna be here. And if you riding with me, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And your contributions and your love and support will not go unnoticed. But until then, I'm out this bitch like newborn puppies. Anybody that's going to the game on Sunday, give some extra shouts for me, man, because I want us to win, bro. I want us to chew these boys up. Pause. We need to, I said it before. We've accomplished the goal of putting our foot on the division's neck. We run the North now. We run the North, and we're keeping our foot on the conference's neck so far. Now we just got to keep it going. Go Lions, man. Go Lions. That's all I got to say about that, man. Peace out. I'm out this bitch like newborn puppies. Yeah.